Disney just made some big changes to its Disability Access Service cards. It's Disability Pass for while you're visiting the parks. So what changes did they make? Who are they going to affect? And how are they going to affect them? So Disney has long had a program called the Disability Access Service Pass, DAS. It's a derivative of what their initial Disability Pass was. And they've used it for years, and one of the problems Disney has definitely had is a number of people abusing it. People who shouldn't have it that are using it, and even people renting themselves out with disabilities so that other people can use it to skip the lines. What is this whole thing? How does it work? What are the changes being made? And how might it affect your visit? There's a lot to talk about and unpack here. First, let me talk about the way it works. DAS guests don't actually get to cut lines. What they do is they would get this pass that would allow them to go check in at a ride, they would get a time assigned to come back, and they would actually then go into the Lightning Lane line. So essentially, it's a free, unlimited Lightning Lane is what it does. It allows them to not wait in the regular line, but to wait in the shorter line. They get an assigned time, and then they can go do whatever. They're only allowed to have one at a time, so you can't have multiples. Then during that time, they could go and they could shop, rest, eat, do something else, visit characters, whatever. Kind of like this, essentially a free Lightning Lane, the Genie Plus program. They don't have to pay for it, though. They don't have to pay for the big new rides, which is one of the reasons it becomes so popular. You don't have the daily fee, you don't have the per ride fee, and you get all the perks of it. And so abusers would come in, they would fake a disability or outright lie about it, just so they could get this pass, not have to pay for the Genie Plus, and then basically get free unlimited Lightning Lanes all day. So it's definitely become a problem. How much of a problem, and what do they do about it? You see, one of the things that America has today is we have a disability problem. A lot of people don't realize how widespread disabilities are. According to the Centers for Disease Control, 27% of the population of the U.S. has some type of disability. That's 1 in 4. The National Institute of Mental Health then adds on another 19% that are dealing with severe anxiety issues. And those numbers don't include things like what I deal with. I have a heart condition and a breathing issue that makes it very difficult for me to go long distances. Technically, I don't fall under disability, and that's okay with me. I don't want to milk and take advantage of the system. When you start taking all those numbers and you start putting them together, we're somewhere between 30 to 50% of the population is dealing with some sort of disability. And then you add in the family members, that means most families that go to Disney have somebody in the family struggling with a disability. You can't give everybody a disability pass. You can't let everybody skip the lines. That doesn't work. It's just not practical. Now, not every disability also makes it impossible to skip lines. I use a scooter when I'm at the park. I can wait in line with the scooter, no problem, and that's what I do. Or I park the scooter outside, and then it's a slow walk-through line. I can wait in lines. Most disabilities can wait in lines, but there are some that cannot. People with autism are often one of the biggest people that struggle with things like that. There's a number of other disorders like that. There are people that aren't able to physically do it. But that number from the 50% that's there is much smaller. So how does Disney then take all of these disabilities and narrow it down to a number that can actually work and function in the park and eliminate the abusers? Disney had to do something. They had to figure this out. And this is a step in that to eliminate the cheaters, to reduce the number of people using it, and to make sure the people who need it can actually get it. So one of the first things they did was they issued this new edict that if you were caught cheating the system because you lie about your disability, you're sneaking people in, or you're doing something like that, you're going to get hit with a lifetime ban from all the U.S. parks. They're not taking funny money with this anymore. They're tired of it being abused, and so those people that have abused it are going to get the boot. That's a pretty heavy threat. Realistically, they're probably going to get walked out of the park the first time that they get caught and get a warning. But if you do it again, yeah, that's not something I would be messing with. You'll have some people say, they can't do that, we'll sue. Disney's actually prevailed in several lawsuits about this over the last few years. You're not going to beat Disney on this one. You fake it, you're getting walked. The strict policy is actually one of several that they just announced a couple days ago. There's a few other things that they've announced too. In order to crack down on the abuse, they're now requiring a different way to qualify for it. It used to be you had to contact Disney ahead of time and you would talk to cast members and explain your issues, and the cast member would issue it. Before that, you actually showed up at the park and you would go to guest relations and say, hi, I've got this disability. Now, those cast members are not trained to recognize real disabilities or not. They don't have the tools, the knowledge, or the ability to filter out the fraud from the real. So they generally approve almost everything unless it was really obvious. That's not going to be the case anymore. So now you actually have to enroll ahead of time with a virtual video meeting with Inspire Health Alliance experts. You're going to be talking to health professionals who know what real disabilities are, who can recognize them, and who can diagnose them. And they're going to be the ones filtering out now. Documentation of a disability isn't required, but the health professionals are going to be evaluating who meets the needs and gets the DAS pass versus some Joe Blow like me. That's going to reduce a lot. They're going to know, be able to recognize a whole lot more. Additionally, all existing DAS pass holders, because once you qualify, you can keep using it, they're basically all canceled. You've got to reapply. So all those people are going, oh, I'm going to be grandfathered in. No, you're not. You still have to go through the process. So they're going to be able to go through and weed out a lot of the people who've been cheating because they're not going to qualify. And if they lie through the process and then get caught, bye-bye. So the company issued a statement the other day with the new release. It said they're dedicated to providing a great experience for all guests, including those with disabilities, which is why we're so committed to delivering a wide range of innovative support services aimed at helping guests with disabilities. They want them to have a wonderful time when visiting the parks. They don't want them to be taken advantage of. So Disney's adding more cast members with specialized training, more options for the attraction queues, and limiting DAS groups to immediate family members or a total of 4 people. Used to be you could get in, I think it was 8 people. You could get in a big size group with you. 4 people total. That means the DAS holder and 3. That's it. Now, if you have immediate family that's bigger, they can adjust those numbers. But basically, it's a group of 4 now instead of 8 or more. That's going to be a good thing. The new rules go into effect June 18th at Disneyland, May 20th at Walt Disney World, so we're just over a month away. Both coasts, the resorts, all updated their website Tuesday, which included these new guidelines. They also included a list of services with downloadable guides, pre-arrival resources and information about disability parking, service animals, wheelchairs, braille maps. And by the way, a service animal does not automatically qualify you for a DAS. All of this is basically an effort to make sure that the people who are getting DAS actually need it, and the people who have been getting it and didn't, don't. It should reduce the lightning lane lines. I've read a few different things that have estimated that anywhere from 20 to up to possibly 50% of the lightning lane lines were people holding DAS. And if a portion of those are fake, and a lot of them are, that's going to reduce that line, which is going to help every line in the park. And yeah, there'd be some people upset that they actually have to wait, but it should make things better. It should cut back on the abuse. It should make sure that those who really need it get it. Now, it's going to be a new system. There's going to be some bugs and quirks along the way. But I have I have some good confidence that this is going to accomplish what Disney is hoping it will. And hopefully get what's a wonderful system, a great benefit to people who need it, and hopefully get it doing what it should and cut out all this other stuff. Am I going to apply for a DAS? Nope. Haven't on my other trips. I will wait in line like everybody else. And hopefully some of these other people who shouldn't have been skipping lines will end up with the rest of us. I'm kind of excited. I'm happy for the change. It's been a long time coming. And really, they're not making very many changes. They're just simply going to filter a whole lot better, make sure those are qualified, and if you try to jimmy the system, there's a big hammer waiting over your head. Good for Disney on this one. Do you got any questions, concerns? Is this going to affect you? I would love to know. Please share it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know what you think. I would definitely love to hear from you. Thank you so much to my supporters, too. You'll see their names at the end. I couldn't do this without them. Thank you so much as well to my supporters. I could not do this without them. You'll see their names at the end, and they get perks such as early previews, Zoom calls with me, behind-the-scenes info. If you want to know more, check the description. Thank you so incredibly much for watching. God bless. Who are they going to affect? How might they affect you? We're going to talk about it. It's a... So, here is... So, yeah, this chair is squeaking. Okay. So, alright. So Disney's dedicated to provide. Let's see here. So a company. I've always heard of that. Thank you so much. Oh my. Shut up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas. Be sure to share them in the comments below, or you can contact me. There's information in the description that has my email address, fan pages, information about merchandise, and so much more. So be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, hit the button right up there to subscribe. And in fact, if you did enjoy this, I've even got another video for you right here. And also about these wonderful people here, those are my YouTube members and my patrons, the ones whose financial support makes this possible. I couldn't do it without them. If you want to know more about that and the perks that come with it, well, be sure to check the description. There's a link right down there. Thank you so incredibly much. God bless.